Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we are discussing the Bethune DB28 Skybridge. Launched in 2013, it is a celestial sphere for your wrist, showcasing the art and artistry of the manufacturer from Bethune. The timepiece represents 45 millimeters of exquisitely blued, polished, placed, crafted, and impeccably balanced grade 5 titanium, white gold, and diamonds. The timepiece on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist fits quite easily. 45 millimeters in grade 5 titanium, which is both hypoallergenic, feather light, and more scratch resistant than conventional steels. The timepiece is actually tailored to fit me by the floating lug system that is a signature of the Bethune brand. Now, the floating lugs give you variable geometry, as broad as 58 millimeters with this lug sizing, as narrow as 53. For this model, two different sizes and spans of lug available, and you can actually have them retrofit if you choose when the watch goes back for service at the factory, so you have options in that regard. The watch is surprisingly slim. In profile, only 13 millimeters thick. You can see once more on the wrist, it's rather slender and it will fit underneath the cuff. It's broad rather than chunky, being 45 millimeters across, and of course, either 53 or 58 across the wrist. The spacing between the lugs, 26 millimeters, so though it's a large watch, it has a commensurately large, broad, and planted appearance on the wrist, the strap being wide and representative of a trend in modern watch design to make the junction at the lug broader. Now, the strap is for demonstration purposes only, although leather can be ordered in calfskin. The standard fitment of this watch from the factory would be alligator leather, an alligator on both sides. This strap is for shipping purposes only. The buckle is polished grade 5 titanium, and you can see that the buckle nicely parallels the design of the lugs. Outboard, the torpedo tip or the ogival cone, reminiscent of rockets, the last design vestige of the original 2002 DB1 chronograph, the first watch made by the brand, which was founded in 2002. And you can see as we move inboard, the watch features a double knurled bullhead style crown. It is a screw down unit, the watch a dress style timepiece with 30 meters water resistance, and you can see that inboard of the highly polished case, a highly polished dial. Now, this deserves some explanation. Let's work from the outside in. The bezel is minimalist, highly polished grade 5. It's like a silver halo surrounding the cosmos. Starting with a blasted silver chapter ring, it is actually sandblasted to create a wonderful matte texture. You can see that the drama of this dial derives from a center that is first black polished in titanium and then fire blued to create these wonderfully dark tones. You can also see that the concave surfacing, dish-like or bowl-like of the dial, creates dynamic effects as you move it through the light. Now, it is the Skybridge, and the namesake, the Skybridge right down the center, and the concave surface, evocative of 18th century Swiss clocks and French clocks that inspired this watch directly. You can see skeletonized, polished, and blued hands at center for the hours and minutes. And we may as well get a little bit closer because the details are exquisite and essential. Now, you'll note there are 12 orbs of white gold, which has been placed atop the concave dial, and they act as the hour indices. You will also note that there are small globes of white gold that have been interspersed across the blue simulated cosmos to act as stars in the background. And if you look very carefully, I'll do my best to get these in focus, there are individual brilliant cut diamonds that have been set into the dial. So an extraordinary array of titanium, gold, and diamonds all working in an impeccable medley. The impeccable medley being one that's beautifully balanced from center to circumference, from silver to blue, with every tone and texture in between. It is mesmerizing, and that's before we even get to the moonphase, which is a combination of blued steel and white palladium, precious metal palladium. It has an interval of adjustment of 122 years. It's adjusted using the crown, so you need only adjust this 360-degree spherical moonphase, a Bethune original style of moonphase, only once every century, and so. Turning it all over, you can see that the movement is just as beautiful as the dial with the same romance, and we may as well relieve ourselves of fingerprints here. and get as close as possible because the black polish is what sets this movement apart from the pack aesthetically. You can see an extraordinary delta-shaped barrel bridge for the twin mainspring barrels. The movement, caliber 2105, one of 27 in-house calibers created by de Bethune since 2002. So there's that black polished bridge in steel over the twin barrels, manual wind 6-day power reserve, and you can see there is also a dished concave grade 5 titanium circumferential plate that has a wonderful echo of the dial, and you can see that that same blued fired appearance has been fitted to the central bridge that mounts the twin shock protectors. You can see it is a triple parachute system, so triple shock protection, patented by de Bethune back in 2005. There's shock protection on both sides of the balance, as well as Incablock shock protection at center for the balance staff. You can see that the hairspring is an off-center dogleg kink because it is also a patent, circa 2006 by the brand, designed to create a flat hairspring of their own manufacture that beats concentrically with centered mass. So it has all of the concentric beating properties of an overcoil, that is, it will keep equal time in any orientation without the delicacy or shock susceptibility of an overcoil. You will also note that the balance wheel is annular and a solid disc of silicon, so it's non-reactive to changes in temperature, hot or cold. It will not alter its timing as a result of a change in temperature, nor will it have any susceptibility to aerodynamic drag in a conventional sense because all of the mass is recessed into the white gold rim rather than sticking out in balance bolts. You'll also appreciate the fact that all of the mass is in the white gold rim, so despite being a high-speed balance, it is 28.8 beat rate. The watch manages to achieve an excellent resistance to concussion and shock-induced timing deviation. Of course, the twin mainspring barrels providing all the power, but also smart in their engineering. You cannot accidentally overwind this manual wind timepiece due to a decoupler that is in one of the barrels. A timepiece of extraordinary art and artistry, and because of the hand placement of all of the features of the dial, no two exactly alike, each one effectively a piece unique from a brand that makes only 150 pieces per year. This is the DB28 Skybridge.